Confessions 2. Knowing that you were watching me, I thought it best to retire quietly from the market, where I sold the services of my tongue, rather than make an abrupt and sensational departure. I intended that young pupils who gave no thought to your law or your peace, but only to lies and the insane warfare of the courts, should no longer buy from my lips any weapon to arm their madness. Luckily, there were now only a few days left before the autumn holidays, and I decided to bear with this delay and withdraw at the proper time. Now that I had been redeemed by you, I had no intention of offering myself for sale again. This plan was known to you, but no man knew of it except our closest friends. We had agreed that it should not be made generally known, although as we climbed up from the Valley of Tears, singing the song of ascent, you had given us sharp arrows and burning coals to use against any cunning tongues that might speak against us under the pretense of giving good advice and devour us with their love, just as men devour food for which they have a liking. You had pierced our hearts with the arrows of your love, and we carried your words with us as though they were staked to our living bodies. Ranged before our minds, so that our thoughts were full of them, were the examples of your servants whose darkness you had made light, and whose death you had changed to life. Their example fired us and banished our dull inertia, so that we turned no more to worldly things. It lighted in us so strong a flame that no cunning tongue could puff it out with the breath of antagonism, but only fanned it to a fiercer heat. But for the sake of your name, which you have made holy throughout the world, there would certainly be others to applaud our decision and our plans. Because of this, we thought it would seem like ostentation if instead of waiting for the holidays, which we were now so close at hand, I were to resign at once from the profession which I practiced openly and because of which I was a public figure. My action would attract the attention of everyone, and when they saw that I had chosen not to wait for the beginning of the holidays, although it was so close, many of them would say that it was because I wanted to win a fine reputation for myself. And what good would it have done me to have my motives discussed and debated, and to have allowed that which was a good thing for me to be brought into disrepute? Besides this, during the summer I had developed a weakness of the lungs, the result of too much study. I found breathing difficult and had pains in the chest, which were symptomatic of lung trouble. My voice was husky, and I could not speak for long at a time. At first I had been worried because I had nearly been obliged to give up the strain of teaching altogether, or at least to take a rest from it in order to undergo treatment and regain my strength. But once the will to wait quietly and have proof that you are God had begun to grow in me, and then had become a firm resolution, this you know, my God, I was even glad to have this genuine excuse with which I could appease indignant parents, who for the sake of their children would never have been willing to allow me my freedom. So with this thought to cheer me, I managed to endure to the end of this period of waiting. It was a little less than 3 weeks, as far as I can remember, but I needed all my powers of endurance even to wait so short a time as this. I had lost the ambition to make money, which had always helped me to bear the strain of teaching, and if patience had not taken its place, I should have been left without a prop to prevent me from being crushed beneath the burden. Some of your servants, my brothers in the faith, may say that it was sinful of me to allow myself to occupy the chair of lies, even for 1 hour, now that my heart was fully given to your service. I will not dispute it. But, O most merciful Lord, did you not forgive this sin and remit its guilt, as well as all my other horrible and deadly sins, in the holy water of baptism?